become necessary to abandon the ship, we will suffer the leader compartment of your attackers and to render us accessible and kill the objective. It may even become necessary to enter the water. If so, then the guardians are the lifeboat object. This lifeboat can support 2 persons, and this boat can support 1 person. The vessel is officially listed at least 1 self-contained lifeboat, capable of supporting 65 persons. Rest assured you are in safe hands. Please relax and enjoy your travel on the River Dee. The River Dee lies in the mountains of North Wales, just to the west of Lake Tahoe. After flowing northeast along the broad valley of Corbin, it plunges down the beautiful bay and down, before leaving the rough foothills and Bangor on Dee. It then meanders northwards of the Chester Plain before eventually swinging northwest of the Chester. After going over the Chester River and under the Oaken Bridge, it then progresses another 18 miles along the Dee estuary, finally discharging into the Irish Sea. Although not particularly long at approximately 80 miles, the River Dee today proudly represents an internationally famous example of advanced water management. In simple terms, water is stored in reservoirs during periods of heavy rainfall, and then being tackled to the river by controlled sluice gates, thus supplementing the natural low flows and permitting constant extraction, while still maintaining a reasonably constant volume of water in the river. By these means, almost 200 million gallons can be extracted daily by 5 water authorities, while still allowing approximately 80 million gallons to flow onwards to the sea. This process was initially set up in the early 19th century to allow a constant supply of water to the local canal system. Thomas Telford, the Scottish engineer, famous for his trouble on rolling wood activities, was the forerunner of this development, and although today the system is not modernized, nonetheless the same principles are still applied. During your cruise today, you may see by our docks waterfowl such as moorhens, coots, herons, cormorants and swans. The UK old swans belong to the Raven Bonnet. The commonest type we found on the river is the moon swan, the largest native British bird, with a wingspan of more than 6 feet. In 1974, there were approximately 100 swans at Chester, but during the 1980s, their numbers almost doubled due to lack poisoning, nest vandalism, and injuries sustained on human life. Today, 25 to 30 breeding pairs have returned to the river and canals of Chester. If you're really lucky today, you may even see a black cormorant on the riverside, cross-standing on the wheels. She has had its wings full of skirts, and it is probably this evening, and it's now digesting its meal. What you are unlikely to see is exactly what's in the river. There are 2 main types of fishing on the river, both on the license, of course. Below the weir and the lower reaches of the river, salmon fishing is still undertaken professionally, just as it has been for decades. Above the weir, coarse fishing takes place using rod and line. The River Dee swims with many fish, including the mixed shell, perch, mullet, dace, bream, and mainly occasional carp. Turning to the source of boating, I'll bet that many of you are aware that Chester holds the distinction for having the oldest regatta in the country. In 1814, more than 10,000 people lined the riverbanks for the regatta in celebration of the defeat of Napoleon. The following year, he escaped from captivity and regathered his scattered forces, only to suffer another devastating defeat at the Battle of Waterloo. Naturally, Chester celebrated once more with yet another regatta. Cambridge held its first regatta in 1829, while 10 young towns generally regarded as Britain's principal international event, founding Halifax's first regatta in 1830. For the long blazing down, there appears George Bridge in the country until the commencement of the return part of the cruise, after which point some of the more interesting views from the river will be outlined hopefully for your further enjoyment.
Remember George Formby? You must throw that boat.
Around the mid-19th century, in most cases for the well-to-do people of the day. The railways came to Chester in the 1840s and tourism started to boom. The city also became a fashionable centre for the rich and famous, many of whom chose to build their houses in the suburbs. This particular area known as Bolton, approximately 1 mile from the city centre, was just one of them. Today, many of the buildings have been split into apartments or taken over by various business concerns. This suburb was also very significant 2,000 years ago. The Romans of the day discovered natural water springs in the vicinity and pumped their supplies into the city by means of lead pipes and an aqueduct. Our modern city today takes some of its water supply from this same area. Shortly coming to view on the right-hand side and standing out very prominently is the lovely Church of St. Paul. Although initially built in 1830, it was comprehensively restored in 1830. Between the church and the buildings below is a barely visible small lane known as Battleworth Hill. For an explanation of this strange name, one has to go back to medieval times and the practice of witchcraft. Ladies under suspicion were brought into this spot, tied to a barrel, and then pulled down the hill into the river. Should the lady subsequently drown, then she would be deemed innocent and already on her way to heaven. However, should she survive this ordeal, then she would be declared guilty, taken from the barrel and transferred to a place of execution, where she would then be hanged. Clearly a classic no-win situation for the ladies. Just a little distance beyond the church, look out for an overgrown, uncultivated area known as Hangman's Hill. This was the place where such executions were carried out. It is still consecrated land and will not be built upon. From the 13th to the 17th century, some 300,000 unfortunates suffered similar deaths throughout Europe. The last such trials in England were in 1712. For many years, this was also the site of more general public executions, the last one being in 1801, when John Clare, a young man in his 20s, was convicted of stealing and brought here in chains to await hanging. He escaped from custody and tried to swim across the river to safety. Unfortunately, he drowned, but because in those days justice had to be seen to be done, he was dragged from the river and hanged anyway. The whole gory process took well over an hour and caused such revulsion that public executions on this spot stopped forthwith. However, they still continued on the western side of the city until 1866, and in Britain as a whole stopped completely 2 years later in 1868. Just ahead on the right-hand side and partially hidden by the huge trees, look out for the very tall red brick building in a page just like a very castle. This was once the home of the author Thomas Hughes, who amongst other literary works wrote Tom Brown's School Days. Published in 1856, it recounted some of his experiences at Rugby School. As a member of the legal profession, he moved to Chester in 1882 as a county court judge, and had this beautiful mansion built overlooking the river named Uppington House, after the place where he was born in 1822. In those days, Uppington was a small town in Berkshire, but because of boundary changes, is today in Oxfordshire. Now look out for what appear to be some lovely Georgian buildings on the right-hand side, known as Dee. They were actually built by the Victorians. These were the main buildings of the city 2,000 years ago by the Romans, in honor of the Celtic goddess of this very same River Dee upon which you are now seeing. Almost immediately in the building on the right-hand side, we come to Georgian Park. This 20-acre plot of land was given to the people of Chester in the 1860s by Richard Grodman's at 7 miles of distance. I'm sure that many of you will be surprised to know that the very first proper park in the world was laid out in Birkenhead, a town near just across the river Mersey from Liverpool. It was landscaped in 1847 by Joseph